on that meeting.
Okay.
Anyway, I read the nuisance ordinance, and it doesn't really say anything about the junk that's stacked around members' properties. Was that in there before and taken out, or no? So mostly it covers vehicles. And how do you make a complaint? It doesn't say anything here about how you come in and make a complaint.
Through the.
There's also on our website, the report problem. It's the big box right on the main page. And you can
Okay, I also read pocket parks. Are you looking at pocket parks? And where would you be looking at for those places to be?
We have talked about.
Okay,
We have made no decisions, nor.
I just read it in the newsletter. All right.
We have had many requests.
Okay, would you mind forwarding that email that you sent to
Yeah.
that person? I'd
I will.
appreciate it.
Yep.
And Trevor's last name is
Okay.
A. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Thanks, Bill.
Good evening, y'all. First of all, thank you for your service. Appreciate anybody who volunteers. Takes their time, talents, and energy to try to improve our public. As luck would have it, I found my May 2023 town newsletter when I was sorting through some old magazines over the toss. And this reminded me, on page 6, May 2023, it says the town plans to hold a public meeting with residents to provide update on the alternatives with the bridges and path forward to addressing the bridge closure. Details of this planned public meeting will be forthcoming at a later date. I'm still waiting for that special public meeting we were supposed to have to discuss the Mill Branch Bridge, publicized in advance with everyone in the community knowing what the cost is and what the pros and cons of it are. It's in the budget, I know, $140,000. But I was down there for the garage sales on Saturday, on the other side of it, looking up there and I go, it's so easy to get up there. They don't need to. The only reason that people wanted was to have a shortcut to the golf course. So again, I want to register some comments against spending out that kind of money on Middle Branch Bridge. And I'm still waiting for this meeting where all the students decide if we want to spend $540,000 to replace the bridge that's not been there for 4 years. And any possible alternatives for things to do with that. So that's just what I wanted to mention at this point in the program. Thank you.
Like I said, we did have a public meeting on the bridge. It turned into mostly a discussion about hardware. But the issue was, if we should have Millbrook shut down, then we were to take out hardware first. And convince people down there. There's also been some discussions about the safety of having only one bridge on that side of town. So, it's my opinion that meetings like to happen, because we're gonna, the bid package is due, a week or so, we're going off the bid for both of them.
I'm just upset that we never had this publicized meeting, which we'll see for coming meetings.
So we did have a meeting on the Branch Bridge, but it turned into South Field. The discussions were all around the hardware. That meeting was called.
There's a lot of questions that brings up, which we should discuss more. Construction trade, or alternatives, other people. Detour right now, that's a very small detour. Some cities for longer than it takes to do the alternative route. So, just a little bit of feedback, I still like to see a public forum. Here wants to spend $540,000. But there's a whole lot of people in town that don't use that bridge, and no one has it. So,
I would also say, like, if your road is shut down, I'll do everything I can to open it up too. So I feel like it's part of our town, for us as a town to go and just start shutting down roads, to not have like the purpose of reopening them, doesn't seem very right. That's true.
It's not on the board, so they focus groups on.
Yeah, and as my colleague said, the meeting that was held was base for Hardman. The discussions around Middle Branch too. So I feel like as a group, we did hear quite a bit.
No one knew that was gonna be a meeting about.
Okay. Thank you. Any other public comment?
Just, my name is Ron Frank, I live on Planet 10. This is a suggestion. When everybody's up here and their backs to us, we can't hear them really well. I'd like to suggest that you put speaker podium over there so that we can address it. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my
Thank you.
basic whining.
Okay. Public comment? Um, oh. Okay, next item on the agenda is to adopt the consent agenda. And I will go through each one of those items. First one is to approve the minutes.
So I move it on the consent agenda. Do you have a motion to that?
Sorry, Councilman Benny, the mayor has to go.
I have to go through them first.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. All right, so approve the minutes from May 14th work session and the May 14th regular meeting. The disbursements, which you guys all have, the dispatch report, the court report, and the special municipal officer. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Consent agenda as written.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Denny, second by Councilman Merrill. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the public hearings. That is, sorry. That is a resolution. So we got a couple of resolutions. And the first one is Resolution 24-06-11-001. I'm going to give a little bit of an introduction. And I won't take any questions till after Councilman Ellis reads the resolution and we open it up. The first one is on our water rates. So just to kind of remind everyone of what we did last fall, the town council made a decision to do water rates at the same time as the budget. So what we had been doing in the past is we were setting water rates to take effect in January. We didn't do the budget until June. And so they felt like it should be done at the same time. And so with that, I had 4 volunteers, plus they all volunteered me. So we had a group of 5 people. 2 of the volunteers were from the finance board, 2 from the water board, and then myself as the mayor. Our first meeting was in October, and we completed our work in March. And one of the things that the council wanted is to look at different options and see if we were doing the right thing. And so it was, I can tell you that I had 4 extremely strong people in that group, very big personalities. And so it was interesting to get through all of this. But we looked at everyone pays the same, whether you're non-metered or metered. So everyone pays the same. And what that would have done is lowered it for the users and raised it for the non-metered lots. And that didn't fly. And so then we looked at giving users 2,000 gallons each month and then raising the base fee to reflect the cost. And that kind of became it did become an issue because we have a certain percentage of our residents that don't use water half the year. So they would be paying for water that they're not using. So that way we didn't really feel like that was the right thing to do. And we also looked at if we needed to increase rates based on our reserves. Do we need to put more money in reserves than what we're already doing? And the reality is, and after doing this for 10 years, I can tell you it's pretty easy to get water money. Road money doesn't. We can definitely get water money. And so that has really not been an issue for us. We always keep enough in our reserves in case something happens or in case we need a match for the funding. We decided that raising rates substantially enough to have a lot more money in savings probably wasn't the best thing to do either. And so with all of that said, in a lot of the meetings, the consensus was that we keep doing things the same way we've been doing it. It's worked. It makes our operational budget work. It's tight, but we can make it work. And so that was pretty much the consensus, which I thought it was a really good exercise to go back and say, okay, are we doing this right? Yeah, we are. And thank you, Mr. Sidway, who's been doing this for years, who kept saying, yeah, this is the way you have to do it. But it was a good exercise for us to go through that. And so the way it is really now is everyone pays for the loans. You know, we live with this, the town took over the system and we had to replace it. And so everyone pays for the loans, whether you're non-metered water or metered. And then after that, the users, the people who actually use the water, they pay for the operations cost. And then we also collect the tap fee. So if you've been only paying for the loans and then all of a sudden you want to build a house, then you're going to have to buy into the system. So you have a $7,500 tap fee, which we didn't change. We also have we'll have a spreadsheet next year, so that can be done, Excel spreadsheet, so it can be done during which is kind of what the council wants. I think we have to look at the future and see who's going to be available to do this stuff in the future. The staff had that sheet so they could do it. So that was kind of how it all worked out. The good news is that we gave our engineer was also involved in some of those meetings, and he gave us a detailed cost analysis of our system. So we now have that, which we didn't have prior. And so that's pretty extensive. I've given that to the council. I'm not sure how many of them. It's pretty large. We put a lot of money into the system, and it's working. So that's kind of where we at. So you know, the reality that we came up with was we've been doing $2 a year for quite a while, and this year we're raising it by 3. And the biggest reason is our operational costs have gone up substantially. All of the not the equipment, parts especially, parts and some labor. Parts. If anyone bought things or had your car fixed, you kind of know what that looks like. So anyway, that's where we're at. I know there's going to be a lot of questions. And Rudy, do you want to add now? Later. That's okay. Would you like to read?
Okay. Resolution number 24-06-11-001. It's a resolution to establish fees and rates for the fiscal year 2024-2025 for the town's water utility. It's broken down into various sections. Water connection fee or the tap fee, there's no changes. Water-based fee, there was a $3 increase for residents inside town, non-town residents, and commercial. And usage fee, the per gallon usage fee went up by .0001 cent per gallon, and other fees remain the same. I move we adopt resolution 24-06-11-001.
Second? I'll second. Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Ross, second by Councilman Rock. Okay, I know we'll have some questions. Yes,
I'd like to raise a point of order.
okay.
I don't believe you have the authority to do that. You need your third reading of your ordinance allowing you to do this before you actually do it. So I think you need to postpone this until after you've read your ordinance, and if it passes, then you have the authority to do it. That's right, as of right now, you don't have that.
That is true. So you can rescind your motion, and then we'll make a new motion to.
Okay, I will rescind my motion at this point.
I'll second it. The motion has now been rescinded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And then just make a new motion, moving it to the. Yep.
Okay, want to do, okay. Third reading of ordinance 2024-05. Be it ordained the governing body, nope, that's the wrong one, sorry. Yeah. Okay, ordinance 2024-06, Title 5, Public Works Water Rates. This ordinance updates existing code to set water rates by resolution. There has been no changes since the second reading. I move we approve ordinance 2024-06 Title V, Public Works. A second?
We still have a point of order. Yeah. What needs to be done is the resolution needs to be moved down into the agenda. So it would be after. It would be number 10, actually. And then the mayor council would be 11. The adjournment would be 12.
So we're gonna move off on this until the right point in the agenda.
Is that correct? Kristen?
Yes, Mayor, sorry.
Okay, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the motion needs to say that you are going to move resolution 24-06-11-001 to number 11.
To number 10 on the agenda, sorry, Mayor.
Confusing.
Oh, it's number 10, sorry.
So confusing.
Okay, is that what you did? No.
No, that's not what I did. I went to, you want me to go to the third reading.
No.
Okay, then I would move that we move the resolution 24-06-11-01 to item number 10 on the agenda and change mayor and council to 11 and adjournment to 12.
All right, been moved by, thank you, Councilman Merrill. Moved by Councilman Merrill, second by Councilman Merrill. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Okay, so then we'll go back to the agenda and we do resolution 24-06-11-002. Anyone interested in reading?
So page 20.
Okay. Oh, sorry, the property. Yeah. Sorry, wrong page.
This is resolution approving the town of Star Valley Ranch's purchase of lot 37, plat 22, resolution 24-06-11-002. Whereas Wyoming statutes 15-1-103A3 authorizes the town of Star Valley Ranch to purchase real property for town use. And whereas the town has identified real property, specifically lot 37 of Star Valley Ranch, plat 22, Lincoln County, Wyoming, is described on the official plat filed in the records of the Lincoln County Clerk as instrument number 638245, hereafter for the property that it desires to purchase in order to A, resolve the misalignment of a town road that is located thereon, and B, eliminate a trespass by the town arising from a water infrastructure built thereon. And whereas the town and the property owners have reached tentative agreement for the purchase of the property for the sum of $90,000, and whereas the property has appraised for the sum of $90,000 according to an appraisal of real property dated May 15, 2024, prepared for the town by Randall Smith of Mountain Valley Appraisal LLC. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the town of Star Valley Ranch, Wyoming, that the Star Valley Ranch Town Council hereby approves the town's purchase of lot 37 of Star Valley Ranch, plat 22, Lincoln County, Wyoming, and hereby authorizes the mayor of the town of Star Valley Ranch to execute all documents necessary and appropriate to complete the purchase of that property for the town, passed and adopted this 11th day of June 2024 by Kathleen Byers, Mayor.
So we have a photo. And unfortunately, this photo doesn't really tell the whole story. So our road, this is actually Overmore. And so our road goes through the property here. The problem we have is there's an existing house right here. And if we move with our easement, if we try to move our road over to here, it will be right 3 feet from his garage. We'll take out his entire driveway. And so that's kind of where we're at. The cost of moving this road, because it will need to be brought up to standards, is about $500,000. And that was the estimate we got. That does not include the geo survey and the engineering. And so we're looking at either a $90,000 property bill for $500,000 or more to move the road. So it's not an easy decision, unfortunately. That road has been there for many, many years. So that's kind of where we're at with this thing. Any questions from the audience before we move? Did we do more? Not yet, we're going to do the motion.
I move that we adopt, not approve. Approve, I'm sorry. I move that we approve resolution 24-06-11-002.
Second?
Second.
Is there a comment first or?
Nope. Let's get through the motion first.
Move it on a second.
I think I got, last time I ran better, I'm on the north end beyond. I think this is probably a wise thing because we're avoiding a lot of costs. We probably need to spend this 90,000. However, I would like to recommend that we find an offset in the budget. In my career, I had to ask engineers to find offsets when they came up with things like this. I've had to find offsets in my budgets. And I have some recommendations, but we leave that for the budget discussion.
Okay.
Just think we ought to find an offset to.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
I didn't hear your question. Can I hear?
I just said we think we can find an offset for this 90,000 elsewhere in the budget.
I have a question first, and that is, from a budget standpoint, I looked and I thought I was gonna do it to you again and ask you to pass your budget before you spend your money. I couldn't find $90,000 in the budget, this year's budget. And therefore, you cannot buy anything or commit to buy anything or unless you have, first off, a budget line item or a line item in your budget and that. So I just ask you if you have $90,000 in your budget. If you don't, you better postpone it for 30 days. Second,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we do have 90,000.
Okay. Second thing is that I spent years working with the association, with them, against them, for them, and everything else. And that is a single family dwelling lot. And I don't believe the town has the ability to change that to a road or that. And I just bring that up, not because I'm saying you're doing anything wrong. I just spent too damn much time and effort on trying to argue with the association about our ability as a town to change a designated lot. Just a question.
Okay. Any other questions on this?
Lee Hanson, being hearing challenged, it's kind of hard to hear what people are saying when I'm back there. It would sure be nice. I thought at one time we had speakers that people could talk into and so the audience could hear. But in any regard, I think that I read where one of the reasons for purchasing this property was for snow storage. Does that mean that individuals that live at the end of a cul-de-sac that the town stacks snow on can exact a fee for snow storage as well? And that would be my question on that. And anyway, it'd be nice to be able to hear it a little better.
Okay.
We hear you. Council, any comments?
I think my own comments would be, I don't feel like my own due diligence was really done on this, like, be voting for it. I was sitting with the mayor, that I've never seen anything move as quickly as we did on this. So, we're kind of in the throes of purchasing it, and I feel like there's still more research, at least on my part, I would like to, so I'd be abstaining this time.
Any other comments from council?
No.
No? No, nothing? Okay, all right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, motion carried. Abstain. You abstain. Okay. Where are we? Next item on the agenda is to approve a motion to lease a snow blower. We actually approved one a couple of months ago, and we were able to save $3,000 on this one. So. Oh, motion. It's actually
To approve the lease of a Deep 5.5 snow blower to Western States Cat to be included in the fiscal year 2024 to 2025 budget, and authorize Mayor Kathleen Byers to sign the necessary documents. Passed and adopted on the day of June 20th.
second.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Arrow, second by Councilman Denny. Any questions from the audience on the snow blower?
You can't do it. You don't have that budget approved. You can't do things in advance without the budget.
Sorry, Mr. Fedaway, just for clarification, that money was budgeted in first reading as
That's
a.
not what she read. Read what she just said.
It does say fiscal year 24.
So it was in first reading and second reading.
The budget's not approved till the third reading. So I'm sorry.
So we don't plan on leasing it until the third reading. So you're saying we can't even, can't do
The
anything?
law says you must have a budget for the.
Before spending.
Sorry to do that to you, but.
Yeah, then the $3,000 savings.
Is that 3,000 based on what they'll give you the savings if you do it, or is it against some other deal?
No, it's part of the lease. We just found a cheaper lease. It's a lease.
Will the budget be approved tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't approve it. She can't commit the money until the budget's approved, but, approving the lease,
You're committing the money, so you put your line here, so you approve that, you approved and committed.
we included the budget. If the budget's not approved, then, she can't commit it anyway, so. Yes.
Yeah.
But if you approve the budget and then do this later in the meeting, you can do it.
I guess we move this to,
13. We just never had to do it 10 years. Evidently this year.
Move it to number 11.
Move it to number 11, the motion. Did we already?
City of
So you have to and resend the section.
we rescind it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries.
So then Jen's gonna have to make a motion to move it.
Yeah. And then you
So
can make a
I
motion.
will move to, move the lease. Bill to number 11.
Second,
A second.
been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is the appropriation. And that is ordinance 2024-05 appropriation. Clerk Treasurer Gray, can you explain this? Get somebody to read it?
Did you read it or before she explained it?
So you can see the changes, that were made from second reading to third reading. Not really any difference in the revenue side. The general side was, adjustments for, the adjustments for, hiring a building official in the town admin. We increased the amount for the canal work and the landscaping at town hall. Added the purchase of the property on the East Forest and added road work for Vista West. And on the capital side, that's where we increase for moving the power box and, moving the power box to the center. So the road work on Vista West and increase on the facilities projects. I do have these listed here. So the facilities projects are chip seal maintenance layers, the list of the roads, Cedar Creek Drive from Vista to the clubhouse, East Street, Hardman from Cedar Creek Drive to Hardman Circle, West Elkhorn and Aztec. And the other road projects are to the repair of the road crossings for Middle Branch Bridge and Hardman Bridge. Move the power box on Vista Drive for better visibility between Vista and Cedar Creek Drive. And the road work on Vista West is to fill in the considerable dip in the road for safety. And then on the facilities projects, on Town Hall, we have some flooring and to repair the door for the mail center, and landscaping and concrete repair for the sidewalk. And the master plan is also set to be used out of reserves, just fix the siding on the public works building, fix the roof and siding on the first response center, and improve the council table, and enclose the ditch in front of town hall and do the landscaping for it. Purchase of office furniture and some AV equipment, and the purchase of the property on East Forest. And then capital equipment purchases of an SUV for the SMO, an SUV for the building official, a dump trailer, post pumper for the skid steer, and a backup pump and motor for the Green Canyon pump station. On the water side, the only small increase is that change in the cost allocated for the town administrator. And that just flows through the change in the contribution to water reserves.
Before we go any further, Mr. Sitaway, the property is in here, so you're saying that we should not have done that resolution until this was passed.
The property, if I ask you to get $90,000 in it, are you gonna spend it out of the 23-24 budget? You're gonna spend it out of here?
That needs to be done first.
Because the budget hasn't been approved yet.
Hasn't been approved yet. I knew that. All right, so let me think about.
Mayor, we missed a motion for reading by title explanation.
Well, let's go back to that resolution that we passed. So, we know how to do a motion to move that.
Rescind.
Yeah, you still have to rescind it even though it passed. Okay. All right, so, who did that?
Councilman Rock made the original motion, and Councilman Denny seconded.
Okay. So if we would rescind that to the resolution.
So I move that we rescind the approval of resolution 2406-11-002. Purchase of lot 37,522.
You could also, I think, in the same motion, make it to move it to the.
And to move it to item 12 on the agenda.
Second. I'll second. Okay, moved by Councilman Rock, second by Councilman Mill. All in favor, say aye. Not opposed, motion carries. Okay, so let's go back to the appropriations. I think we got it now. So, I'm gonna. She just went through the top.
So we still need to do the motion to.
Right. So, can I have a motion to approve it by title? Oh, we need to do a motion to approve by title and explanation for all ordinances, right? Yes. Okay.
I move that we approve the ordinances by title and explanation.
Second. Second. Moved by Councilman Rock, second by Councilman Merrill. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Okay. So the next item is to give me a motion to ordinance 2024-0.
I move that we approve ordinance 2024-05 appropriations for fiscal year 2024.
Second.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Rock, second by Councilman Bennett. Okay, now I will open, I know that there's people here who want to talk. I will open this one up to questions. If you please come up to the podium if you have a question.
I'm gonna move the podium a little bit. This is okay. So,
Excuse me, but you're here to talk to the council, and I think that's the concern.
well, okay,
I know, we have a,
stand here then.
we have a problem.
Used to be over there.
Yeah, we know that we have we use the microphones and it works.
I'm not real loud. So, first of all, were the totals fixed? I can't quite read this eye chart. The ordinance posted last night is the totals, because it said Word didn't add up the total numbers.
Yeah, everything Sandy gave us.
There were some typos, it's been fixed. It's been requested on the online.
Assuming it has. And then, second of all, there's a lot of changes since the version 2, reading 2. Public safety, 23,000, planning is only 35,000. 37,001 road purpose you talked about, and then 125,000 for the purchase of the lot. But I wanted to mention that I think what I would like to see us look at is offsetting that $90,000 for the lot 37. I would propose that we not fill in the ditch out there for 70,000, and that we not spend $20,000 on a new podium, even though the microphones somehow disappeared. And that would be a good offset to that 90,000. I would like to know a little bit more. Being on the financial advisory board, I don't know what these increases were in every case. I'm not sure I need to know, but I'm curious. Finally, I think last time we talked about splitting this out, Kristen did show some of the detail in the project lines there, but on the ordinance summary that was posted on the website, none of that detail is in there. So I think only the people here tonight with good eyesight can see that. But again, I'd like to see this split out in more detail, listing all the projects, if we go through this again next year. So that's about it.
Thank you. Any other comments on the budget? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
Mm.
Kristen, you did that. All right, next item on the agenda is ordinance 2024-06, Title 5, Public Works, Chapter 54, water rates. Councilman Allen.
Ordinance 2024-06, Title 5, Public Works, water rates. The explanation, the ordinance updates the existing code to set water rates by resolution. There has been no change since the second reading. Therefore, I move, yeah, there we go, get the right word. I move we approve ordinance 2024-06, Title 5, Public Works, Chapter 54, water rates.
Second,
I'll second.
moved by Councilman Allen, second by Councilman Ron. Any questions from the audience on this ordinance?
Sorry again, I don't know why no one else has questions, but I have one small question in section 52-04. It used to be called water system replacement and upgrade reserve, now it's water. Or is that what it is? No, it's water system reserve. Under section A, item 2.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, we're on a different ordinance. We're on the water.
Oh, you move it back here?
Yes.
It's the next one, Randy.
Okay, no questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Hearing none, opposed, motion carries. Next one, ordinance 2024-07, Title 5, Public Works, Chapter 52, liquid assets. Councilman Allen.
I got this one too.
Yeah.
Okay. Ordinance 2024-07, Title 5, Public Works, Chapter 52, liquid assets. Explanation, this ordinance updates existing code to clarify language regarding reserves. changes were there.
I don't think there were any more second reading.
Here, trying to make sure,
This is section. Yeah, I don't see anything.
don't believe there were any changes since the previous reading. So I move we approve. Get back. Ordinance 2024-07, Title 5, Public Works, Chapter 52, Liquid Assets.
I'll second
Okay, moved by Councilman Ellis, second by Councilman Bennett. Any questions on this ordinance?
Yes.
it. You got some picture.
Except for the vote. That's just a small question. Under 5204, I guess section A, no, B, number B, section 2, source of funds, then there's a B below that. It says tap fees will be deposited into this reserve upon receipt. I thought the tap fees were supposed to pay for the valves going in and the labor to put the valves in.
No, the tap fees have always gone into the system reserve.
Really? I thought we determined what that should be based on the equipment that has to be installed.
The owner now pays for the valves to be installed.
Yeah. But that's part of the tap fee, isn't it? They tap into the water line?
That is
So,
part of the.
so previously, the tap fee was split into some of it was going into the system reserve and the operating costs stayed in the operating. But now all of the tap fee
Okay,
is
that's all going into this
going
reserve.
into the system.
And we just absorb the former stuff somewhere else? Okay.
The cost of installing the meter and all of that is just being absorbed by operations.
All right, just seems a little inconsistent with what I've heard in the past.
I apologize because I rarely come up on the second reading. I'm usually on the third reading when it's too late to do anything. But I'd like to make a general plea on the changes you've made in the assets side of it. And that is that in the past, it was very clear. You had to take this money from this deal and put it in a certain reserve. You could only use this reserve for that particular thing. You had to go through an ordinance with 3 readings to make it different, to change it. And that added the integrity, and it also added the surety that some administration wouldn't come in and get a idea that let's spend this money because it's there. That's being, all those reserves are put there for a specific purpose to make sure we have a, what is it called, fiscal justified system. So we can pay for things today, but we also pay for them in the future. I think what you've done is you've taken the shalls, the musts, we will, put them in, you can. So you can change them very easily. You've taken the water rates and you've taken them out and you've made them as a resolution instead of a 3 readings. So people find out about water rates tonight, the day you do it. With the 3 readings, you have to go through all 3 readings to figure out what it is and give people a chance to come up and talk to you before you make your minds up and have to approve something on the 3rd reading like you're doing on the some of this other stuff tonight. So I think you're making a mistake. You can have all the integrity in the world, but we don't know about the next administration. So rather than making it easy on yourselves by making it a resolution, rather than going through the labor of 3 readings and letting the public know, we have a chance as the public to critique administrations. Enough said.
All right. Any other comments from the audience? Council?
No.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Did you? Sorry. By this time. Okay, the next item is ordinance 2024-10, land usage.
This is ordinance 2024-10, Title 15, Land Usage, Chapter 150, Buildings. The explanation on this one is the changes would allow approval of plans for exterior structural elements based on minimum structural requirements typical in most other areas, such as joint stand tables or raft or span tables, which are not provided explicitly in the IRC, since our area's requirements go above what is provided in the tables in the IRC book. So we're basically looking at not making people that are replacing a deck get engineered plans, and those are not required. This is the second reading. The only change was the very last sentence where we changed the word board to town. So it now reads exterior structural elements such as decks and porch roofs may, with approval of the town, be exempt from engineered plan requirements so long as the plans follow minimum requirements provided by the town and a licensed wiring engineer. I move that we approve the second reading of ordinance 2024-10, Title 15, Land Usage, Chapter 150 buildings.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Rock, second by Councilman Merrill. Any questions, before I open a question, I can tell you that this came from the P&Z board. So just some more clarification. Any questions? None? Town council? No questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. All right. I'm going backwards, right? So the first one we need to do again
Is what?
is water.
Okay. All right, resolution number 24-06-11-01. Resolution to establish fees and rates for the fiscal year 2024-2025 for the town's water utility. Water connection fees, there were no changes. Base fee went up by $3 for residential, non-town limits, commercial, and the usage fee went up decimal 0.0001 cents per gallon. I move we approve resolution number 24-06-11-001.
Second.
I'll second.
So moved by Councilman Ellis, second by Councilman. We'll open this up to the audience for any questions.
Was that just $2 up on the base fee and nothing on the service availability fee?
3 on each.
3 on each. I did hear Taylor say.
And just for clarification, Councilman Ellis, it's actually 3/10.
3/10.
And the out of town limits is actually in our ordinance to be 1.25% higher than in town limits. So it's not exactly $3, it's more.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Any other questions on this? All right, I'm hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is again the property. So resolution.
I'm sorry, it's the snow blower first.
Oh, the snow blower. Next, we have the motion for the snow blower.
I move to approve the real D55 snowblower for Western States Cat to include fiscal year 2024-2025 and authorize Mayor Kathleen Byers to sign necessary documents. Adopted fiscal year 2020.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Merrill, second by Councilman Denny. Any questions from the audience? Council? No? All right, all in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Next item is resolution 24-06-11-02.
This is resolution 24-06-11-002, a resolution approving the town of Star Valley Ranch's purchase of lot 37, plat 22. Whereas Wyoming statute 15-1-103A3 authorizes the town of Star Valley Ranch to purchase real property for town use. And whereas the town has identified real property, specifically lot 37 of Star Valley Ranch, plat 22, Lincoln County, Wyoming, as described on the official plat, filed in the records of the Lincoln County Clerk as instrument number 638245, hereafter the property that it desires to purchase in order to A, resolve the misalignment of the town road that is located thereon, and B, eliminate a trespass by the town arising from a water infrastructure built thereon. And whereas the town and the property owners have reached tentative agreement for the purchase of the property for the sum of $90,000, and whereas the property has appraised for the sum of $90,000, according to an appraisal of real property dated May 15, 2024, prepared for the town by Randall Smith of Mountain Valley Appraisal LLC. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the town of Star Valley Ranch, Wyoming, that the Star Valley Ranch Town Council hereby approves the town's purchase of Lot 37 of Star Valley Ranch, Plat 22, Lincoln County, Wyoming, and hereby authorizes the mayor of the town of Star Valley Ranch to execute all documents necessary and appropriate to complete the purchase of that property for the town, passed and adopted this 11th day of June 2024 by Kathleen Byers, Mayor.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Oh, we didn't actually make a motion, make the motion, sorry.
We're all over the place. I move that we approve resolution 24-06-11-002.
Okay.
Now I'll second.
Been moved by Councilman Marsh, second by Councilman Day. All right, any other questions from you?
I have a question,
Okay.
or maybe just a comment. Sandy Willis.
The purchase of this property is probably because the owner wants to sell it, and he can't sell it without that road being
Removed
moved.
to the middle of it?
Right. Have you explained the topography of the lot that we're going to? Yeah. No, I mean to the audience. Have you explained it?
We showed the map up here.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but
No,
the
it's
map
pretty
is
steep.
flat, and the land is flat.
It's not much.
So I think it would be nice to talk
We
about
have
the
the road.
topography, and
Yeah.
I know we don't have a solution for what to do with it yet.
No.
But I think the purchase is warranted because, you know, he can't sell it without it being purchased. And that's probably in this town, more than one lot similar to this, because the town was created by the Stewarts many years ago. And our town was a HOA for many years. And it was not a town, it was a recreation area. But I just think the citizens need to know about the topography, because when Mr. Sidaway mentioned that it was for snow, you know, storage, there's a lot to that lot that can't be done. So, you know, for the citizens to just decide, it makes them feel better if they know more about the lot than just it's a lot and we need the road. So, yeah, that's just my comment.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody knows a lot about.
I mean, it's quite steep, with our road going through it. There's not enough room to do. Mr. Patrick.
I'm wrong, Thacker, Plat 18. Are you acquiring this through a condemnation process, or it's a mutual agreement with the property owners?
We would do both. We would have to.
It has to be both?
Well, the first step is to purchase it
Mhm.
as a single-family dwelling lot. We'll own it, and we'll be responsible for fees and stuff. The next step is to how to best deal with it, you know.
Well, yeah, you've got a couple of problems there. As a town or a government agency, you can condemn property. Okay, and I was wondering if that's what you did, or did you just meet a mutual agreement with the property owner?
Well, we're gonna buy it as a regular home.
As a regular sale? Yeah.
Then the steps after that, how we're going to deal with.
Yeah, then you've got to deal with the single-family residential and all of those issues.
In the meantime, you'll own it as a single dwelling lot, and we'll have to pay HOA fees and water rates, all the stuff like we else does. But
Right.
hopefully we'll get that fixed
And,
sooner or later.
yeah,
The
and
exact process, we don't.
you'll have to
Yes.
do something about changing the
Yes, we discussed at this point, we know we gotta do all that,
okay.
but for this purpose tonight, get our property owner, then we can go ahead and,
Okay. But it was obtained through mutual consent, not through a condemnation process.
To my understanding.
regular sale.
Yeah, a regular sale. Okay. All right. Thank you.
So I'm kind of struggling with this purchase rate, because I'm not sure that we know all the answers. And, so my thought is that we postpone this decision, but I don't know how the rest of the council.
For how long?
For the next meeting. I'm just not sure, and and we've kind of talked about this as a group, but I'm not really sure about the CCNR part of it. Still part of the HOA, they still get dues, and I'm not, yeah, I mean, we know we don't have $500,000 to do that. We know that, but what, is there another solution? And now I don't think that we looked at it. You don't think so?
I mean, we own it, then we can go through the process of
Yeah.
to change it from single-family dwelling to town property, but
I don't know that we've had due diligence to be done.
Well, his recommendation was we replat the land and try to get the people on both sides to buy it. But that would still, we could recoup some of our money, but that's still not gonna solve the problem. It's still going to be one lot missing from HOA, no matter how we do it.
You did raise a question in my mind. I know where that lot is, and I've gone up down that road. Down. The question I've got is, I'm not real estate person, but that sounds awful high for a lot. That, I worked in construction as a young kid, and our contractor loved to build on steep hills, because it gave it character. But the cost in those days was almost a third more to build on a steep hill. So if that person were to sell, if you didn't have your road there,
Yeah,
is that 90,000? What did the guy across the street pay for his down in that hill? I'm wondering if the town has done due diligence with the realtor and prices to make sure that we're not buying a problem and then they set the price because we got a problem. They got this is a bigger problem if we don't.
Yeah.
So.
so it was appraised at 90,000, they were asking 99, the county assessment on that property was 100.
How big is the lot?
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, it's pretty good, so.
Yes.
It's on canyon access.
and I purposely moved it.
Do we have a decision on the table?
Yeah. We have a motion on the table.
We have to rescind.
You have, like, make a motion.
To what?
She can make a motion to table.
In the middle of a already
The
standing.
motion's already been passed. She can make,
No, it hasn't been passed.
no, it has not been passed. The motion has been made and seconded. Therefore, it can be, the motion can be made to table it, the still requires a second, and is voted on.
So, right. Move to, table resolution, 24-06-11-002.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to table this motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye.
I'm gonna say nay when it's my turn.
Okay, it's your turn.
Nay.
Abstain.
I don't think we're going to improve our decision next month.
So, it passes. To table. It's my first table.
So just point out, since we tabled it, the motion is on the floor, I think the motion will be carried forward.
Has to be brought up. Has to be brought up. Next meeting, there is no timeline She did not set a timeline,
Mhm.
but it has to be moved forward by a motion from council.
So if it's not addressed at the next meeting, then it dies. Tough. Tough meeting. All right. Next item on the agenda is mayor and council. I just have a couple of things. We have already scheduled the candidates tonight for September 17th, so we'll make sure we get that out. We have 5 people running for council to fill 2 spots. Councilman Ellis is running. We have somebody else in here, Katie Wilson's running. Thank you. Okay, that's all I have.
I would like to mention Arbor Day is for the Foxborough Park this Saturday. I believe it's from 10 to noon. Am I right?
Yeah.
So it's 10 to noon on Saturday.
Anybody else?
For the planning and zoning board, we're gonna have at least 1 vacancy on that board. If anybody's interested, there might be 2. I haven't confirmed yet the other individual whose term is up. There's gonna be 1 vacancy on P and Z, that we would love to have a new volunteer for. The travel and tourism board met last month. They're doing meetings quarterly. So residents should expect to see information coming out about the lodging tax that is going to be on the general election ballot for approval by residents this fall. So you'll see a lot more information coming out explaining what that is. It's not a tax on residents, it's a tax on people who visit Starvalley Ranch, specifically that stay in short-term rentals here. Just wanted to bring that up. And they're still working on coming up with a budget for what to do or how to best utilize the funding that's already in-house that's been collected for lodging taxes so far. So that's it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, all good. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
And to adjourn.
Second?
One second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. 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 Hearing none opposed, motion carries.